Alright, picture this. A goblin teleports into your house, runs up into your attic, drops a box on your shelf, and then teleports out. Alright? What do you do? Now, me personally, I'm gonna touch that shit. So here I am in this hut thing, and this green goblin walks up to me, and he says something about how the world is in ruins, and I need to fix it, and I need to go get some fairies, and save the entire universe, and the bippity boppity boo, here's a fairy bag, go on your way, right? So, not knowing what to do, I walk through the forest and I come across this village, right? And immediately, I get tall shamed by this garden gnome looking motherfucker, right? But, you know, I ignore it, new place, new people, gotta give them a chance, right? I don't know their culture, who knows, maybe I'm scary, maybe I'm in the wrong, I don't fucking know, right? But this guy named Rufus, he tells me that at his place, he's got some fairies, right? So he says to go grab one, so I pick my main man Squirtle, right? And this other dude named Lucius says that he's got this pixie bag that he wants to give me so I can go get some pixies for him, because some chaos fairy showed up and fucked his shit, you know, whatever, you know, free shit's free shit, right? So I go into the forest, but almost immediately I get attacked by this fairy who jumps out of a tree. So, you know, it starts blasting at me, I start blasting back, and then I capture it in my Pokeball with Force Lightning, right? So, you know, after getting, you know, attacked by random fairies and another fucking garden gnome, I finally get to Lucius, and he's all like, catch some pixies, here's a bag. So, I got my bag, I'm dripped out, I go back to town, yeah? And then I meet this kid named Seamus, and he's all like, I hate humans, I hope you fucking die, you suck, fuck you, right? But I don't got time to be worrying about racist little kids, okay? So I make my way to the big city, Tyrolin, yeah? And who do I find? Fucking Seamus, okay? So I have some words with Seamus, and we have a duel, alright? We start fighting, and he absolutely kicks my ass. I get mopped. And that's when a goblin comes up to me and starts talking about how his homeland is absolutely getting fucked by these shadow elves, right? So he's all like, you gotta help me, you gotta help my friends, my family, these shadow elves are ruining everything, okay? So he tells me I gotta go get a rune to teleport to his place, yeah? So I find this woman who's selling the rune, but she doesn't want money, no, she wants dwarven crystals, right? So I find this dwarf, he has the goods, I have the cash, but he only has 3 crystals. She wants 5, right? So I gotta go find another dwarf who is selling more crystals and get some off of him, right? So after these black market crystal deals, I now have enough money to buy this fucking runestone. So I buy that shit and I teleport to the swamp. And I walk like 4 feet, and this goth grandpa walks up to me and immediately starts throwing hands. So I mop the floor with this guy, right? He didn't stand a chance. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy, no sweat off my brow. He gets so angry, he got so mad, that he literally fucking explodes, okay? And after that, when these goblins that live here, they tell me that there's like 4 more of these guys out yonder, right? So I deal with them, lickety split. They all explode, except for the last guy, their leader, who's dressed up like he's Napoleon Bonaparte. So I defeat him. And then he gives me the ocean conch and then runs away like this. But the conch is important because the conch allows me access to wild water fairies. I shake that shit around like a maraca and they just fucking, they go wild for that shit. They love it. So the same goblin, right? He tells me that there's a nature magic card out in the swamp somewhere and I gotta follow these wispy little lights to go find it, right? So I do that, I wander around the swamp, alright, get all mucky, yeah? And I find the card. And what this card allows me to do is clear bushes. I have become a gardener, a magic gardener, alright? So at this point, I'm tired of the swamp. I teleport back to Rothy, right? And he starts telling me about how there's this other card that I can find in the realm of the clouds that lets me move boulders and shit. And I should go talk to the dwarves because they know how to get there. They got the tech. They've specced into that shit. So I'm like, okay, cool. But with conch in hand, there's a very specific fairy that I want to get. An absolute gem of a guy. A beautiful man. A fairy of both majesty and absolute power. With this fairy by my side, I know there's absolutely nothing that I can't handle. So I search for this guy. I search and I search, but I can't find them anywhere. Right? I'm swinging this conch around like my life depends on it, and he does not care. He's ignoring the shit out of me. Right? So I am devastated until I come to this crossroads and I take a right. I find a dank stream, and I shake the conch. Now, given that this path, alright, this area has given me my man Goop, I'm feeling pretty good about this place. So I keep going down this road and I find a very weird pond and this girl living in this hut, right? And she tells me that she wants to give me the, get this, elementary key of nature, alright? That's gonna allow me to meet fairy Jesus. So I'm thinking, I gotta do some crazy shit for this. What the fuck she want from me? Get this, I have to clear 5 bushes. So I clear the 5 bushes. It takes like no time, like 5 minutes, quick, easy. And then I get the key. But she's all like, hey, my husband is up by the swamp. Could you go get him? Because he's out there looking for the magic card that you got. So he doesn't know you have it. So you gotta bring him back. And I'm like, okay, all right. You gave me Jesus' key. I'll do that. So I go get him. And he's all like, hey, thank you for clearing those bushes. They were really pissing me off. You should come visit my house. I'm gonna go back there. You should come visit. So I'm thinking, well, shit. If I got the key to Jesus for clearing some bushes, for, returning a loved one, what are they gonna do for me? Like, what crazy shit do they got in store? So I make the long journey back to their hut, and he looks me dead in the eye and says, my man, I appreciate you so much. And for someone who has done me such great kindness, I will provide to you the ultimate service, okay? For you, my friend, if you give me 2 small potions, I will pour them into a bigger pot and I will give you a big potion. And he said this with such sincerity to me. Now I was insulted, so I left. You can pour 2 things from a small pot into a big pot, call that a service? Fuck you. So at this point, I'm lost. I'm confused. I don't know where to go. I go to the one place I haven't been to. And where do I end up? I'm back in the motherfucking swamp. So I've been streaming for 3 hours now. I've had it. I've had my fill. Too much swamp. So that is where our story ends for now. But if you want to know what happens next, and you want to see it live, you gotta make sure to catch my streams every day at 3 p.m. PST. Peace, peace.